Hi cuties! Welcome back to yet another adventure into Imagination Land. I will be reading to you two more stories from my favorite fairy and folk tales. Read along and enjoy the journey into your own imagination land. The New Sun and Moon. Legend has it that millions of years ago, a great catastrophe removed the sun and the moon from the universe. The earth froze without sunlight. There was no moon, the light, or the nights. The gods decided to give the earth a new set of sun and moon. Two persons must sacrifice themselves, ordained the gods, who would change into the sun and the moon and live forever. Only one person, Tegchi, volunteered. I will gain immortal glory as sun, he boasted. When no one else came forward, the gods spotted little girl Nina. Nina, would you like to become the sun or the moon? They asked. Poor Nina did not want to die, yet she agreed for the sake of her fellow human beings. Preparations for the sacrifice began. A huge fire was lit. Tegchi and Nina were to jump into the fire. Dressed up in the finery for sacrifice, Tegchi was to leap into the flames first. He stepped forward, but seeing the burning flames, backed out. As he stepped backward, the crowd laughed in derision. Now it was the turn of little Nina. Jump! Cried crowd as she neared the sacrificial fire. She closed her eyes, smiled, and leapt into the leaping flames. Bravo! Exclaimed the gods and audience. Ashamed by their jeers, Tegchi picked up courage and plunged himself into the fire. He, however, fell on the edge where the fire had turned into ash. The divine eagle appeared, picked up the glowing little Nina, and seated the ball of fire into the clouds. She became the sun. Tegchi, too, was picked up and placed as moon. Due to his early cowardice, he bore scars on his shining body forever. Let's now move on to the next story. Shoemaker and the Elves. Long ago, there lived a poor shoemaker. He was old, and it took him 2 days to make a pair of shoes. One day, while he was working, his wife said, Work faster, there is no money to buy any leather. The shoemaker worked all day cutting out a pair of shoes. He left the cut-out shapes on his workbench and went to bed. In the morning, when the shoemaker went to work, he was surprised to see a beautifully finished pair of shoes. The shoes fetched twice the usual price, with which he bought more leather and cut out 4 more pairs of shoes. Next morning, he found the shoes ready, beautifully done. He became so famous that customers came from far-off places to buy his shoes. We have enough leather to last a lifetime, said the shoemaker's wife. We must find out who is helping us. Just before Christmas, the shoemaker cut the leather as usual, and he and his wife hid in a corner. At midnight, they saw 12 naked elves come out from the clock and begin to work. Poor creatures, said the shoemaker. They have done so much for us, and they have nothing on them. The next day, they made beautiful shirts and shoes and left them on the workbench. When the 12 elves returned, they were surprised to see shirts and shoes in place of cut leather. The elves put on the shirts and shoes and sang, We are smart fellows now, no more cobbling for us, and danced out of the shop and disappeared. That's all for today, dears. We'll be returning with yet another story on a magical journey. Ta-ta!